WTA News. Thank you for returning for another quick episode. Few articles we're going to run through. I know. We're just going to jump right in there. Ripple says the U.S. banks will want to use XRP cryptocurrency after partial victory in the SEC's fight. Blockchain startup Ripple is confident U.S. banks and other financial institutions in the country will start showing interest in adopting XRP in cross-border payments after a landmark ruling determined the token was not in itself necessarily a security. The San Francisco-based firm expects to start talks with American financial firms about using its on-demand liquidity product, which uses XRP for money transfers. In third quarter, Stu Alderati, Ripple's general counsel, told CNBC in an interview last week. Moving on, ahead of joining BRICS, Iraq issues a ban on the United States dollar transactions. The dinar is the national currency in Iraq. Your commitment to transact in it instead of foreign currencies boosts the country's sovereignty and economy. That statement read. The ministry also pointed out that failing to do so will lead to criminal offenses with punishable crimes. The law will hold accountable anyone who attempts to undermine the Iraqi dinar and the economy. Goes on to say General Hussein al-Tamimi, forgive me if I messed that up, al-Tamimi, who heads the operation directorate, explained that offenders will be fined 1 million Iraqi dinars. Moreover, repeat offenders will attract harsher punishments, including double the fine with a year's imprisonment if you're not using that dinar. If the violator repeats it, he will face an imprisonment penalty of up to 1 year plus a 1 million Iraqi dinar financial fine. In case of a third violation, that penalty will be doubled and will have the business license turned. Tamimi said. So they're so serious about getting off that dollar that you will be in prison messing around with them. That's a punishable crime. Y'all better use the dinar. Don't use the dollar. That is crazy to see how these things are happening. It goes on to say Iraq is looking to join the BRICS bloc in a move to end reliance on the United States dollar. The nation is ready to accept the new currency to settle cross-border transactions. The next BRICS summit will be held in Cape Town, South Africa in August of 2023. Around 19 countries have both formally and informally requested to join the alliance, reported Bloomberg. And if more countries join BRICS, the expansion of BRICS will only hurt the prospects of the United States dollar. Also, if the yet-to-be-released BRICS currency grows stronger, it could ring the death knell for the United States dollar. So, obviously, hey man, nobody's confused about this. We fully understand nation is going back to nation. We fully understand. I mean, it was Barack Obama who said in the past that there will come the time when nations will stand on their own. In a sense, they'll use their goods or services as their finance to deal with other nations and so on and so forth. So to see something like this happening, I don't know why it was never happening. Like, it should have been happening. It's fair trade, and to understand, like, literally go to flea markets, right? Go to a flea market and do trade within the flea market and understand what free trade is. If somebody has something that they're willing to trade you for something that you have, then you can conduct that trade, and you don't need a middleman or somebody standing over top of you telling you that you can or cannot do that. And then somebody telling you that you can't come over here and trade anyway because we're going to penalize you or sanction you. So you can't come in here. So when you look at it as a whole, other countries are no longer trying to deal with this type of system. and they're moving into this new system, whether we like it or not. And to not be confused, all the commotion with the SEC and the Ripple or XRP situation, it had no bearing on other countries. So if they were using Ripple XRP to move money around or do transactions, they would have been doing that regardless, because the United States is its own entity. It's its own thing. And what the United States says or does has no bearing on the rest of the nations, because they don't rule other nations. I mean, I don't know how else we could look at that. So it has no bearing. All right. So, anyways, isn't that interesting? All right, JP Morgan and Wells Fargo to use Ripple's XRP partners FedNow service for instant payments in the U.S. Interesting. JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are now partnered members of the newly launched Federal Reserve's instant payment service. The FedNow service is a new payment system that will allow all participating banks, both big and small, to offer a modern instant payment solution. According to a recent announcement, JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, and Wells Fargo are the latest major banks to start using the FedNow that went live yesterday. To this point, on the 20th. To this point, around 35 banks and credit unions have joined the system. For months, there have been rumors that Ripple could be involved with FedNow. Late last month, the Federal Reserve Bank of America was rumored to be working with Ripple following some comments by Jerome Powell. Unfortunately, after its launch, it's been evident that Ripple is not working with the Federal Reserve. However, it's clear that some of the banks utilizing FedNow are partners of Ripple. Specifically, they have been utilizing the blockchain technology offered by Ripple. While this leaves a possibility of a partnership and adoption of Ripple's technology by the Federal Reserve, it remains an unlikely outcome. So it doesn't appear to be that Ripple is working with the Federal Reserve to run the FedNow system. So there's no evidence for that. So if anybody's wondering about that, I mean, yeah. Okay, the article might be, just misleading or confusing, but obviously they have no proof to say that that's actually happening. All right, it goes on to say FedNow's widespread availability and potential adoption by thousands of financial institutions could have significant implications for the cryptocurrency market. Furthermore, FedNow is said to offer a framework for the forthcoming launch of a CBDC, which is in no way good news for the crypto industry. But with Ripple having worked on a CBDC platform that can help governments launch their own CBDCs, this could drive adoption from governments, central banks, and financial institutions to issue digital currencies using Ripple's technology. So, yeah, even though it doesn't appear FedNow is dealing with Ripple, that has no bearing, again, on what other countries and other banks would be doing. And other countries could possibly be using the ODL of Ripple to get things done. So, FedNow, we don't know. It doesn't look like it, but other countries, more than likely, yeah. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this quick rundown of some articles. That's all we've got for this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.